Good afternoon, everyone. Very nice to see you all, and I'm very privileged to be here today. Thank you for having me. So let's start. Are you all good? Let's begin. I have a question for you all. Do you guys struggle to say no just to create space for others? Or how many of you say yes just to please others? I've been here too. I used to say yes to everything, but today I want to share what I've learned from that behavior. I'm a professional model and creator, and usually a lot of people equate being good at your job to being a yes person all the time, even when you don't really mean it. As a model, I found myself saying yes to things like, yes, I'm available for the last minute shoot, or yes, I'm available to travel outside tomorrow, or yes, I can work overtime just to get that one perfect shot. But here's the hard truth: every yes costs something. It might be your health, it might be your creativity, sometimes even your self respect. And I learned that the hard way. 2 years ago, I used to be the person who said yes to everything: back to back content shoots, 3 campaign shoots in 1 week, and back to back travel. From the outside, it looked like success, but inside, I felt like an empty prop. I was too tired to even enjoy the life that I was supposedly building. Then one night, on set at 2 a.m., I was slumped in a makeup chair with camera lights burning, full face of makeup, and my eyelids heavy. And in that moment, I regretted something. I regretted not setting clear boundaries for the shoot timing. And I had a thought. That was my wake up call. The thought that struck me was that every yes is a no to something else. Every time I say yes to everyone, I'm silently saying no to myself. And this is not just in modeling. Being a student, you might find yourself saying yes to things like every other group project, every social plan, or every extra class. If you are a freelance worker, you might find yourself saying yes to every client, even the ones who don't pay on time. And if you're an employee, you might find yourself saying yes to every task and every meeting, just in the hope that your boss may notice. But all the time you say yes to something out of fear of missing out, or fear of disappointing others, you're actually saying no to your energy, your focus, and your joy. So let's talk about boundaries. A lot of people think setting boundaries is like shutting out the world. But as therapist Nedra Tawab says in Set Boundaries, Find Peace, boundaries are not walls, they are bridges. So every time I tell a client that, sorry, I cannot work past midnight, but I can definitely start early tomorrow to finish the project, I'm not rejecting them. I'm setting a clear boundary for both of us to work together in a healthy way. Think about it. If a friend of you asks you out on one day before an important exam, and you say, sorry, I cannot make it tonight, but maybe let's celebrate after the exam. This is not rejection. This is setting clear boundaries which build respect. They'll actually trust you more because you respect your own priorities. So remember, boundaries are not shutting doors. They're actually telling people where the real door is. And a lot of times, you might be setting boundaries for others, but there's still that one person who refuses to listen. And that person is very often you yourselves. We tend to overwork ourselves, thinking that being successful means being busy all the time. We chase productivity as if it's some proof of our self worth. And I'm guilty of it too. I used to be the person who used to say yes to 3 events in one night, then running late, leaving early, and trying to optimize my life as if it was some video game. But that constant race comes with some irreversible consequences. It leads to burnout, it leads to shallow connections, and a life that looks full but feels empty. So I decided to give myself some new rules. Rule number 1, be present. Every time you commit to something, wherever you are, be there. Because what's the point of showing up if you're not actually present? Rule number 2, take play seriously. Because play often gets ignored, but it's actually something that fuels creativity and recharges productivity. And rule number 3, live a boring life. This might sound off, but sometimes it's in those quiet moments that the most unexpected inspiration and idea can strike you. Sometimes you might feel like things are not happening fast enough, but the paradox is that you are not moving slow enough for them to happen. As author Damon calls it, the art of saying no. And producer Shonda Rhimes calls it the beautiful no. I call it freedom. 2 years ago, a big brand offered me a huge project. Low payout, but endless demands. Old me would have jumped at the opportunity. But this time, I decided to take a different path. I said, thank you, but I will have to pass. And that single no left space for a last-minute jewelry shoot, which actually turned into a huge monthly retainer for me, where I had the freedom to also let my creativity shine. And that's when I learned that sometimes one single hard no might be paving the path for the most profitable yes finding you tomorrow. And these no's weren't just in small projects or brand deals. These lessons grew bigger with me. Because sometimes life doesn't test you with small no's, it throws you the biggest dream you've ever worked for and asks if you have the courage to walk away when things don't feel right. The most powerful no I've ever said was to the Miss Universe contract. For months, I had prepared, trained, and worked tirelessly for that stage. Winning the title and the crown was a dream for every girl who was competing there. And when the contract came, we were just expected to say yes. But once I read the contract, I knew that it does not align with my values and my vision for myself. So I chose to do something not many people dare to choose. I said no. That was one of the most scariest decisions, but the smartest choice I've ever made. And let me be clear, this was not a failure. It was actually a statement that my worth does not depend on a crown, but on my courage to walk away from something that does not serve me. Looking back, that has to be the most freeing and powerful no of my career. It taught me something bigger than myself and something I still live by to this date. And one decision, that's all it took. So if there's one thing I hope you all take from this stage onto your lives, it's this. Like every photograph needs negative space. Without it, it feels crowded and flat. Our life works the same way. Without boundaries, without the courage to say no, and without pauses, everything gets too crowded. And actually, you have to remember that saying no is not selfish. It's actually self-respect. Because every no is also a yes. It's a yes to your health. It's a yes to your dreams. And it's a yes to the life that you actually want to live. So I want to leave you all today with a challenge. This week, give yourselves one brave no. If you're a student, it might be saying no to pulling another all-nighter for someone else's notes. If you're a freelancer, it might be saying no to the client who wants 10 changes for free. If you're an employee, it might be saying no to a meeting that could have been an email. And if you're a person who struggles with people-pleasing, it might just be saying no to that social event where what you actually need is some rest. One beautiful no this week, that's my challenge for you. Thank you.